Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here, and welcome back to another sponsored Blade and Soul video. Now it's been a while, been rearing up and doing some other things here on my YouTube channel, but we're back with another one, and this time we are going to be diving into Mushin's Tower, which was just added on February 10th in the Rising Tides or Rising Waters patch. Now the Mushin's Tower is actually a solo instance. You can only do this on your own, so it's a basic test of can you do enough damage, do you know your skills well enough, and if not, try to use this opportunity in order to learn them. I highly recommend you get at least a true profane weapon, and you can upgrade most of your accessories to just before Siren levels. That's what I did it in, and I am doing this as a Blade Master, so this video is a lot more relevant for fellow Blade Masters. If you're another class, you may want to watch another video, unless you just want to get an idea of what the floors are like in the first place. Before I can even cover how to do Mushin's Tower, a lot of people ask me, how do I even get to Mushin's Tower? Well, when you first log in after February 10th, which you probably should have by now, you'll notice you have a quest, something of the Naryu Sage. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Just follow that quest and it will take you to Mushin's Tower. Don't get confused and try to follow your main story, because that's still not going to progress. Just know you got to follow this Naryu Sage quest in order to get here. Once you're here, it's got Dragon Trader Express, it's got repair, it's got vendors. It's basically got everything you need. Alright, so enter Mushin's Tower and grab some dailies. Now, you're going to notice you have an NPC that will allow you to either start on the first floor or the 5th floor. Now, I've only been able to get one of these 5th floor tokens. Someone told me you can also buy them for like 50 silver or something like that, but it essentially allows you to skip straight to the 5th floor. You'll get them after you go up enough floors here on your first time through. So go up onto the first floor and you'll notice that there are 6 flags representing different classes in the game. All you have to do is pick one, fight it. After you beat the first one, pick a second one, fight it, win, and move up to the 2nd floor. Regardless of your class, this floor shouldn't be that difficult, because if you've ever fought any NPC in the game that was any of these classes, they don't really function any more difficultly than any of those. The only thing they do on top of that is occasionally summon a Frost AoE on the ground. You just have to not get hit by that. Might take you a few minutes, but take this opportunity to really figure out what it is you're going to be doing, at least build-wise for the rest of the tower. Now, the 2nd floor is the Silver Deva. Now, you may remember the Golden Deva from Out in the Scorching Sands. This fight is very, very similar. The only real thing you have to look out for is every time he does the forward conal attack where he slams his hammer down, may leave behind a fire patch, and if you stand in it, it's going to do damage. Also, if you're ranged, the Deva can also do a jumping attack where he slams his hammer down. That will always leave a fire patch behind, so you may want to stay a little bit closer to him so you don't have too many of these things to deal with. Just deal with him. He's not really that bad, and move on to the 3rd floor, which is going to be the first really hard one. So the 3rd floor is where most people get stuck, myself included. I've had to do a lot of what I call suicide runs on this floor, and you may have to do the same your first time through. The floor is fairly simple. There's a boss in the middle of the room, then there will be 4 of them across the entire encounter. It's 3 mini-bosses, the main boss, and you also see the 6 packs out on the outside of the room. Now, these packs won't aggro you natively until you get to the 4th boss. So, there's 2 different ways to go about this. Some people prefer to CC the main mini-boss in the middle of the room and then gather up some of the packs on the side and AoE them before finally finishing off the boss. Keep in mind that between mini-bosses, as long as you're not fighting, you can get out of combat and heal like you see me doing here. The other strategy, and the one that I've used the most, is that you kill the boss in the center ASAP. He only has like 30 to 40,000 health. Kill him and the entire pack of enemies that he's with, the 3 or 4 enemies, will just up and disappear. You have about 15 to 20 seconds at this point before the next mini-boss joins, and in this time, your goal is to take out as many of the adds along the outside of the room as possible. I recommend no more than 2, maybe 3 if your AoE is really good packs. The biggest threat are the dudes with the cannons, so I just go counterclockwise from the right side of the room and around. Kill the first mini-boss, kill 2 packs on average, kill the second mini-boss, kill another 2 packs, kill the 3rd mini-boss, kill the last 2 packs, and then you'll just get the boss at the end. If you have a 1 pack at the end, the final boss is really easy to just defend against. So if you do that, you can still deal with some adds even after the final boss has joined you, which is just a Kung Fu Master. He's not really any harder than anyone you fought on the 1st floor, so as long as you just play a little smart, you shouldn't have any problems with this guy. Moving on to the 4th floor. The 4th floor is a Zhang Ji. Now, you'll notice that 6 of the allies, they're allies now at the very least, that you could have fought on the 1st floor are actually here. You get to talk to the merchant in the middle of the room and buy some health pills. If you want to buy any of the special foods or items here, they can be useful in the rest of the tower. Just know that you're investing either money or the warriors tokens you've been getting as you've been climbing into those. So buy the health pills, pick an NPC to be your ally. I usually pick this guy over on the left, the Kung Fu Master, and then the fight can begin. Now the Zhang Ji has a lot of health, so expect this fight to take quite a bit of time. Other than that though, he's really just a standard Zhang Ji. He does hit really freaking hard though, so make sure you're avoiding his damage as best as possible. Occasionally you'll see him stop and raise his hands slowly up to his sides. That's him summoning 2 ads that you'll need to deal with. Just AoE them down when they come out, they're not too threatening, and deal with the really high health pool. Shouldn't be too difficult of a floor. The 5th floor is against an Augurite, and this is basically a giant DPS check. You're going to notice that there's 4 AoE buff circles as soon as you begin the encounter, and these are meant to help you kill the boss as quickly as possible. Use these when all of your cooldowns are available and just go completely ham on the boss. He does standard Augurite things, and it does have a few range attacks. He can throw a boulder or he can roll towards you, both of which can be extremely threatening. He also has an undodgeable AoE that after he sucks you in, he will then do that, so just move out of it whenever he sucks you in. Other than that, just try to limit how often you use your defenses and just do as much damage as possible. He's very slow, he's very predictable, shouldn't take too long to get past this guy once you stop playing a little bit more cowardly. Took me a couple of tries to figure out how to just straight up go in on him. Now the 6th floor is kind of like a random boss. Basically, when you go in, there's going to be a wheel on the right as well as that merchant again. Again, you can use this opportunity to buy items if you want to use them. You go to that merchant and for 2.5 silver, you can buy an essence. Use that essence to roll the wheel, and it'll pick a random boss out of the 4 blue dungeons that were available in the game, which is Brightstone, the Skittering Tunnels, the Hall of Ogong, and the Pigsty. It'll give you one of the 4 final bosses. In the case of Brightstone, it'll give you the Azure Lord, or at least that's what it gave me, and you just have to beat that one boss. The Spider Queen is the one I've had the most trouble with. The other 3 don't seem to be that bad. Also, if you're lucky, it can actually land between the bosses and land on a golden pig. If you get the golden pig, it's a freebie. You can just kill it, get the loot, and go up to the next floor. The 7th floor is the really difficult floor because not only do you have to play a proper balance of defense and offense, but he has a shortened rage timer of 5 minutes. That being said, I highly recommend that if you are brand new to Mushin's Tower and you're not yet competent in your skills, you either expect this to take several hours, bring a few field repair tools so you can actually repair up here, or look up a class guide for your individual class. No shame in it. He can be pretty rough, especially if you're someone who's been playing very safe in Blade and Soul up to this point. In case you're looking for one of those places to find the resources, there's actually a thread on Reddit that can help you out immensely. As for Junghado himself, he is basically a Blade Master with a few special attacks. He can summon the ice on the ground, which always comes with him talking about an Umbra Turtle. He has an attack where he says something about a Black Phoenix and he shoots lightning at you and then charges immediately after. He's also got a Rising Dragon attack, which he'll do an unavoidable AoE and then hit you very, very hard and can launch you into the air and do aerial combos on you as well. It really is a giant check of balance of defense and offense. For me, since I'm a Blade Master, I've heard this is one of the easier classes to do this on, right next to Summoner, sort of. So I just basically went for as much crit as I could possibly get, although even though I still have pretty low crit values, I used 5 stacks of the food for most of my attempts, though for this attempt right here, I actually didn't have 5 stacks of the food left because I had wiped 3 times. And on top of that, I just tried to stay in draw stance as often as possible. Either use potions to get health back or leech health back with my shoulder charge. I made sure to get bonus focus on my tab skill, and then just try to anti-cancel yourself as much as possible. You really need to land as many hits as possible. Your blade calls need to be on point, your lightning rods, your AoEs, everything needs to hit him ASAP. You do not want to delay any of your damage. I also added CC pretty much to everything. Boot has CC, Raid has CC, Rush has CC, what else has CC? I don't know, I used Sundering Sword, so I didn't use the other one that knocks him down on the ground. You just want to keep him knocked down as much as possible and go ham sandwich on him as a Blade Master. If you're looking for a build, again, use that thread in the description of the video. I guarantee you it'll help you out a lot. But anyway, that's Mushin's tower for you. In case you're wondering what the rewards are, it does have its own soul shield. On top of that, you can get warriors tokens, which you can use to get rewards to make the rest of climbing the tower a little bit easier. You can use it to buy foods that can give you buffs that can only be used in Mushin's tower. And on top of that, you can get several different kinds of weapons that you can use for either evolution, breakthrough, or upgrading your weapons as a whole. You can also get some other items that you can use for upgrading, so it's a great thing to do daily. It's like 2.5 gold really for the daily quest as well. So once you do this, it's just about 20-25 minutes of your time and you should be good to go. But your first time through, expect it to take a little bit of effort at the very least. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for more Blade & Souls videos. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one, and until then, take care.